place far because I wanted to meet new people. I wanted to experience new things. I wanted to be able to kind of like at you see those Benihana places where they throw the sauce on the
Yeah.
onion volcano. I
Yeah.
wanted to spice up and flare up kind of my living, if that
Yes.
makes sense. And I wanted
Definitely.
to kind of go away from the contemporary kind of just dull, complacent, go through the motions lifestyle. And I wanted to get a new perspective on life, a new way of looking at things. And I think here is the best opportunity to do that. And
Yeah.
I think college in general is, but especially if you're far away, where one, you don't see the same faces until you make friendships,
Hmm.
and two, you are exposed to a whole different environment, whether it's weather, culture, whatever it is, that's so different that either you're going to have to improvise, adapt, and overcome, or else you're just going to flounder. It's really that simple.
Right.
And I think that's a really cool thing about where I am, and I think you would agree with me. And I really, I agree with you when you say you don't take this for granted because in 2 weeks we'll be back to, square one almost. And don't get me wrong,
It's a
we get
completely
out
different
again.
square though, because you're complete. I mean, I'm a completely different person than I was, when I came down. Definitely. So it's like I almost feel like my perspective has shifted so much so that like okay, so like most of my friends back home like don't even go to like college, like they don't, or if they do, they go to like a technical school or like a small state school. Um, and so like a lot of kids just in Wisconsin in general don't end up going out of state. Like a lot of kids will go to UW Milwaukee or Madison, Wisconsin, or like UW La Crosse. There's a couple, cool state schools there. So a lot of kids tend to stay. And I think people in Wisconsin tend to stay in Wisconsin. And so like my perspective has just changed so much just by me putting only by me putting myself in this environment and like allowing myself to actually experience this environment. Like I'm like spent enough time, just by myself going to Brickell or to Coconut Grove and just exploring the city, and that's taught me so much more than any of my classes, any like easily.
Well, not only that, too, you're able to see much more than just the classroom. And the whole point of college, I think, is to, one, meet people, and two, to have new experiences and adventures and to expand your knowledge of kind of just the world in general. The only way you're going to do that is by actually doing it. Like you said, if anyone's ever seen the movie Stripes, funny movie, there's a quote by one of the guys. He goes, "The only way to learn something is to do it." And I think, that applies to the context of the quote is completely different from how we're using it. But I think it applies very much to exactly what we're talking
Yeah. And so when you say we're back to square one, it's like I would hope that, and I think that, I believe that a lot of people, I don't know, obviously when you're in a new environment, your personality and you as a person change a lot. But like, it's gonna be interesting to see how different or how changed, a lot of those people back home are after 3.5 months. Because when you live in this place where it's kind of monotonous, you don't think to change. Whereas like when we put ourselves in this environment, like you said, it's like I didn't work out all summer. I was working. Like I was slave. I was no, I was working. I was landscaping every day, but never working out or not really focusing on my health. I was always eating on the road, eating Quick Trip. Shout out Quick Trip, best gas station in the United States. Um, but yeah, no. And then coming down here, I'm like, okay, this is no bullshit. We're spending crazy money on this shit to be here. So I'm like super insane focused on like I've kept my schedule, I've kept my diet perfect, and it's natural at this point. Um, so that's the advantage of just moving around. Like I think that if a lot of people like that have depression and that have like anxiety and that whatever, they're not where they want to be in life. I think that sometimes, if possible, now it's not a lot, not a lot of the time it's not possible, but to just put yourself in a new environment and just see how it changes.
Couldn't agree with you more. And, I think